Primetime Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello and welcome to Primetime Local News. My name is Thomas Wildman. I am dressed as Ron Burgundy, and thank you so much for joining us. The body of Serene Camachi has been found. RCMP issued a news release stating his body was located in a pasture about 10 kilometers north of Alcurve on Monday. Police say preliminary investigation indicates his death is not considered suspicious in nature. Because of that, they will not release any further details. The council candidates in the upcoming municipal election range from years of experience to none at all. For some, they're somewhere in the middle. David Lopez, owner of the Lloydminster Arby's, was the most recent councillor elected, joining from the by-election earlier this year. He is choosing to run again, considering these past few months as a dry run.
Well, you know, I knew I wanted to get into municipal politics, and the time was right, and I knew this time around I was going to run. I just got the opportunity to do it 7 months sooner in that by-election and sort of get my feet wet and get a better understanding of municipal governance before the first general election.
Lopez believes whatever council can do on the economic development side is of the betterment for Lloyd residents.
I really believe we have to grow economically. We have to bring industry to this community because we can't keep taxing our tax base. We can't keep taxing the homeowners. And the only way to bring the taxes down on the homeowners is to bring industry and bring more productivity to the city.
The election takes place on November 13th. A new candidate running for city council in the Lloydminster municipal election is Tanner Nday, a lifelong Lloyd resident who wants to serve the community. Nday graduated from the University of Calgary with a bachelor's in economics. After graduating, he came back to Lloyd and started his own business. Nday's goal, if elected, is to push policies that protect families.
The foundation of my platform is family first, champion the family, protect the family, uphold the family, and promote the family in the community. My belief, my absolute belief is that the family is the foundation of a free, flourishing, civilized, excellent society. And so if policies are passed which promote the family and protect the family, then they're good policies.
Nday has been touring around Alberta discussing economics with MLAs and MPs, as well as regular citizens. Nday says that talking to various groups of people helped him really realize the importance of being involved in politics.
We always talk about how important it is to become involved, to be active in the political process. Otherwise, when we complain about government or have issues with government, if we're not active, we don't have much of a reason to complain or be upset at all. And so I thought it proper to take my own advice finally and propose my name for council. It's been wonderful so far.
Nday is hoping to win one of the 6 city councillor seats on November 13th. Halloween is officially upon us, and students got to get in on the spooky season spirit by singing some Halloween songs at Pioneer Lodge.
We're making pumpkin pies, pumpkin on the vine.
Grade 1 students from College Park School headed out to Pioneer Lodge on Thursday morning. They sang all sorts of Halloween songs to bring some happiness to the residents staying at the lodge.
We've been practicing some spooky Halloween songs. The kids are super pumped to share. As teachers and educators, we love to share and make connections in the community, and the kids were so proud to be able to come and put smiles on some faces today.
With it being Halloween, kids dressed up in various different costumes. This activity also showed younger kids how a little random act of kindness can go a long way.
I think it's important that the kids learn that they can give to the community in small ways with our time and our talents, and also just that piece of being able to put a smile on people's faces for the day.
The lodge is a retirement home and was a great way to get the residents living there in the Halloween spirit. Babs Gaming in Lloydminster is hosting an Extra Life fundraiser this weekend, and Stacey Comer has more on how to get involved and what charity will benefit from the money raised.
There's a special event being held at Babs Gaming this weekend. Many of you already know Babs from their involvement in so many different things in the community. It's the Extra Life fundraiser, and joining me is one of the owners, Mitch Lapense. Mitch, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about the Extra Life fundraiser. Can you tell me how this works?
So the way the Extra Life fundraiser works, it can happen you can kind of donate throughout the year, but the main event is always the changeover in time in November every year. So we do a game-a-thon. It's a 24-hour game-a-thon. There's tons held in all different cities, and we do one of our own. The guys that I joined have been doing it for 12 plus years, and this is my third year joining in and doing it with them. So basically, it's to raise money for children's hospitals.
And you have a team together already, and you said each member on the team can pick which hospital they wanted to go to. So in this case, which hospitals will be benefiting from your event?
So there's two main ones. There's the Jim Pattison and then the Stollery in Edmonton. So the big one in Saskatoon, big one in Edmonton that we'll be supporting.
And people can come down and watch you guys game and just check out Babs in general while this is happening as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, they can come down and game. They can watch us. They can participate. We'll be playing games that I have on in my store that they can join in live with my systems there as well.
And if people want to donate, if a lot of us aren't gamers or not gamers that would be at your level, I'm still stuck in the Atari years. So if people
Yeah.
would like to donate, how do they do that, Mitch?
There's a couple different ways. There's a couple posts I have on my Facebook on Babs. That there's a link you can follow that goes directly to me, and then they can actually come in, and each individual person actually has their own link that you can donate through to them, and every person kind of has incentives. I have an incentive. If I get $1,000, I'll wax my chest. I really hope I hit it, but I also hope I don't hit it, but if it happens, it happens. But yeah, so they can come in, they can scan QR codes, people will have links. They can go on my Facebook, the Babs Facebook page, and there's a couple links on there they can follow and click to donate as well.
Do you guys set a financial goal for how much you'd like to raise, or is just whatever you raise is fine because it helps no matter what?
Yeah, I think we set a goal of 10,000 a year. We've hit it the first couple years. Last year we didn't, but we're hoping to hit it this year.
So for people that are coming in, I know obviously they probably won't be there for the full 24 hours, but what hours will you be open on Saturday for them to come and watch and game and whatever they would like to do?
So the doors will open at noon for Babs. They can come in the whole day, and then we'll go until nobody's in the store, and then I'll lock the doors whenever it gets dark enough and quiet enough.
Why is it important for you, Mitch, to be involved in this fundraiser every year?
So I have a little nephew who has used the Jim Pattison services a couple times, so it really means a lot to me that they get the support they need to help the kids in need.
Well, this is just a great event, and I thank you and your team for being a part of it. So, once again, Mitch, if people are looking for information either on the event itself or how they can make donations to you, where do they go to find that?
I get big website extra-life.org. That's the big website. That'll tell them why this fundraiser started, what they can do, how they can even join and make their own team if they want to try next year. And then our team name is actually Foxtrot Tango Kilo, FTK for the kids. And they can go onto the Extra Life website, extra-life.org, find our team name, see the whole roster that's participating, and pick their team from there too, their teammate that they want to donate from there.
All right. And also, the Babs Facebook page, too, has some information as well.
Yes, I've posted a couple things on the Babs Facebook about the event. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining me today, Mitch, and good luck with the event this weekend. We really hope you reach your goal.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
And we'll have more primetime local news after the break. A well-known entertainer is bringing his show to Lloydminster next week, and many people will have seen his father perform decades ago, and he is now carrying on the family legacy. Stacey Comer had the chance to chat with Tyrone Ravine about his upcoming event in the border city.
I have a very special guest joining me on Primetime Local News today. Tyrone Ravine is here. The Ravine family has a very long legacy, and you are going to be performing in Lloydminster at the Vic Juba Community Theatre November the 8th, which is next Friday. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thanks, Stacey. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Well, just in case there's someone who might not know the Ravine name, can you tell me about what your show is? When people come to see you at the Vic Juba Community Theatre, what can they expect to happen?
Well, our show is famous for being the biggest scene show on the top theater circuit, coast to coast in Canada during the 20th century. We broke more box office records with the exact same shows that I perform as my father did, uh, touring on the biggest theater circuit from coast to coast. And that was achieved it started back in 1961 when we came over from Australia. All of us kids were born in Australia, except for my youngest brother. He was born in Vancouver. And then we grew up on the road of a traveling show. We were with our parents. It was a bizarre lifestyle, but we didn't know anything different. But it was quite a ride. It's kind of like traveling with the circus, I guess, because when we came to town, it was like the circus. People would wrap around the block to see our show night after night. And still today in Western Canada's biggest theater, which is the Orpheum Theater, my father's name, the Ravine name, is engraved in granite right beside the backstage door, because he sold more tickets to his show on a single run than any other show in the history of that theater, which is goes back a long time. And I've always had this ability to be very creative, because I was just applying the principles of hypnosis that I learned from my father, that you can achieve anything in life you want to achieve, but you've got to tap into your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where your genius is. We all have the capacities to have genius within us, but most people don't recognize that it's there. And that's because they think, oh, what have I done in life that really makes me capable of doing anything? They kind of float around in the conscious thinking of the mind, which is by its nature very negative in its thinking. It's like, why do this when you can play a safer role? I mean, it's necessary because it helps us to not to allow our self-confidence to override our common sense and do things that are potentially dangerous for it. But it also holds us back from achieving many or most of the things that we want to achieve in life. And that's why we try to take people into a very deep state of relaxation and teach them how important that is during the show. You will see that we start off by taking people into a very deep state of relaxation. And then through a series of consecutive positive suggestions, we convince them that they have the ability to achieve anything in life that they want to achieve. And then we draw them into a spotlight, and they perform at levels that people are just amazed. I mean, like
And one thing we should mention too is that when these people come to the show, the audience says there's nothing negative, there's nothing bad that's going to happen to them, and you can't control them and tell them, go rob a bank or something like that, right? It's all
oh
very
no,
positive.
in the superconscious state, you can't tell anybody to do anything that is contrary to their deep rooted moral convictions. That is an absolute Hollywood fallacy. It's a lie. And they've been kind of brainwashing that they depict hypnotists as these crazy lunatics, and they leave this rash of disaster everywhere they go by that kind of image that they depict. But in a super conscious state, you are very aware of what you're doing, and you'll never be tricked into doing something that is contrary to your deep rooted moral convictions, as an absolute Hollywood fallacy. I mean, hypnosis by its nature means many things to different people, and it can be used. Basically, the hypnotic state is brought about by through relaxation and a series of consecutive positive suggestions.
And do you find that people feel differently after the show when they leave the show? Do they, it's kind of a really nice positive feeling because of the way that you've done the hypnosis?
Oh yeah, and we don't let them leave the stage without charging them with some really great positive suggestions. But the most common thing that we get feedback on is that I've never slept better in my entire life than I do now, and they're more relaxed and they're more self-confident. When you relax, you become self-confident. It's natural, and that's the kind of there's a certain element of enemy out there that doesn't want us to feel that. They kind of I think they keep us more in control by making us fear this and fear that. But once you get beyond the fear factor, you really have the ability to program your mind to do anything that you want. But you have to learn to relax, and this is one of the things that you'll learn by watching this show, which is tremendously entertaining.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. So once again, the Ravine Show, November the 8th, Friday at the Vic Juba Community Theater. And if people are looking for more information just on yourself and on your family, what is the best way to find that?
Oh, you can go to our website, which is ravine.com. You have to know how to spell Ravine. It's all E's. It's REVEEN.com, and it'll give you a list of our shows and our history and things like that. But it's a show I want you to show up with. We used to pack them around the block night after night when my father was touring when I was a teenager, right through my adult ages. And then I decided that I wanted to become a great designer in special effects for rock and roll bands. And I didn't have any training for that. Well, I knew how to train on the road, but I knew that I had the ability to achieve anything in this world that I wanted to achieve. And I knew what I wanted to do, and that was to be in show business and help superstars make their shows look better. And I became very successful at that as well.
Well, once again, I appreciate the chat, and we will see you just over a week from today, Vic Juba Community Theater in Lloydminster. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Oh, thanks, Stacy, for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
That's all for news. Sports is next, but first, here's a look at your closing market.
Today's oil prices are brought to you by First General Services.
The Lloydminster Bobcats hosted the Fort McMurray Oil Barons last night, but the Bobcats were playing for more than just 2 points. They were playing for Team Peyton. Peyton Walker, a member of the Lloydminster Steelers, was diagnosed with cancer and is now undergoing 67 weeks of chemotherapy. The Bobcats are helping raise money for the Walkers with an auction of the specialty jerseys, and the Walker family is incredibly thankful for the support.
Just to see her and how she has rallied with this and how everyone's rallied around her, we do really feel that that has helped her in her journey. It hasn't been easy, but with the help of everyone, especially from our hometown, but in Lloydminster, the hockey community, and see everyone here tonight, and just really support her, just means the world to us, and we're super grateful for everything that we've gotten here in Lloydminster, from Nigel, the Bobcats, the Steelers, just absolutely everyone, friends and family. We couldn't be more thankful.
The specialty jerseys were designed by Berlin Code of Holy Rosary High School and looked outstanding last night as the Bobcats went on to defeat the Barons 6-2. The auction is still on, so head to the Bobcats Facebook page to learn more. I'm going to take a quick look here at the 3-day forecast. On Friday, it's going to be mostly sunny, a high of 3 degrees and a low of -5. We'll be warming up a tad bit on Saturday, some low clouds, though they may break up a bit, a high of 4 degrees, a low of -2. And then on Sunday, it's going to be breezy in the morning, a high of 2 degrees and a low of -4. So it is going to cool off as we get into the weekend there and into next week. And for all of us here at Primetime Local News, I'm Thomas Wildman. You stay classy, Lloydminster.